Can we make the invisible visible? Our downtrodden, trembling masses casting their waning shadows on forgotten plains, our near silent, our near vanquished majority, our shameful oversight, hidden with our tacit knowledge, in plain view, living on the borderline, our most shirked, our most forgotten fellow man, disenfranchised, misbegotten, woeful creatures rooted unbeknownst to a fractured and dimming spotlight. Can we not just shine, just for an instant, a piercing, penetrating beam into the recesses, the crooks and crannies, and truly see, not glazing over, the uncomfortable truths of our oh so comfortable lives? If we had the slightest inclination, could we not draw our collective breath, inhale a little more deeply, and exhale a defiant challenge to our status quo? One that now so obviously benefits our elites, our carefully manicured role models, born to fortunate privilege, primping and preening, believing it was their talent and not their postcode. Those who walk in willful ignorance, seemingly across water, but if you took the time and peered closely, you would see that this is on the arched backs of our drowning brothers and sisters, asphyxiating in a system corrupted, no longer a meritocracy, no longer part of our vocabulary. Perhaps it never was. Corporate greed is now our mantra, our secret state. Profits at exponential rates. Inflation pressures, we're told, must keep wages down, out of reach of common man, while they wallow in their big fat juicy bonuses at the top end of town, peddling a perverse inverse stew of capitalist socialism, peddling us false profits and propaganda, the pinnacle of populist views, shamelessly, triumphantly echoes. What's in it for me? We're sowing fear and distrust of strangers, left from right, black from white, race and religion is the new regime. What's in vogue, our new status quo? As if there is no other honourable way, that being poor means you need to be punished, that instead of sharing the spoils for your own good, when you are down, we will not pick you up, we will not help you, we will beat you into a final submission, for you are not worthy, you in your miserable state, we will smite you, we will shame you, we will subjugate you, we will fuck you when you are down. Simply, we don't give a shit. Who sees, who knows, we are untouchable, for we wear the crown. We could draw a line if willing. We could wake if willing, challenge our indoctrination, turn off mass media owned by billionaires that numbs our senses, hysterical infotainment parading thinly as news, desensitizing our minds, falling into a stupor, leading further and further to an alternative point of view, playing into capricious goals of a skewed racist agenda, a horrendous dystopian view of reality, an Orwellian state in the making. All in the name of progress and equity, because that is the American way, our brothers in arms, our star-spangled role model, Australia, the poor wannabe, the 51st state, a lapdog, leaving behind all sense of decency, all sense of morality, for what? To bask in the shadow of another's making, to catch the snacks that fall on the floor, for what? To be their slaves? No more. Let me tell you of the everyday Australian, in our vernacular, the fictitious honest battler. Let us keep their stories alive. Let us hold them ever so briefly in your mind's eye, shining brightly our beacon to illuminate, get close, smell their desperation and despair, and use our teeth to snap, to bite, rip, tear, fray, and eventually snap. The knots that bind our fallacies, our inbred prejudices, our intemperance, of those not worthy of our might. Let us hold ourselves accountable for our intolerance, our scorn, our ridicule, our unwillingness to extenuate their unfair, pitiful plight. Let me tell you of their story, but let me ensure it is not simply a flight of fancy, easily dismissed, fingers snapped in an instant due to naive simplicity, the optimism of our youth, but something oh so grounded in a brutal, uncompromising, visceral reality, an awful, chilling, heartbreaking tragedy, an unending brutality that surrounds so pitifully so many in their unfair, unjust, everyday lives. Can you imagine in our lucky country, full of overflowing riches, 1 in 8 of our brothers and sisters live in intolerable subsistence, below the shrieking, shameful poverty line, that in this land down under we have a tale of haves and have-nots? 13 unlucky percent do not unfortunately share its embarrassingly rich, bountiful fare. And to add to that injustice, 1 in 6 children share that miserable fate, a dire and destitute state. And if your skin is black, and if your only sin is to be born into a sunburnt land, born as one of our First Nation, then that shocking number escalates, shatters records and shoots to 30%. It's incomprehensible, beyond comprehension. And then to pour further fuel to a beaker that is already full, let me take away our most precious commodity, what should be all of ours inalienable right, by taking away a precious gift, a span of 10 years from an inglorious, unfair existence. Our people from the First Nation, born to fail, bereft the gift of life, quickly and quietly dispensed. And where do we house our invisible? How do we sweep them out of plain sight, giving them no realistic option but to live on the fringes, in distant urban dwellings, in sleepy country towns, far from opportunity to live beyond the poverty line, many eking out a meagre existence, challenging them to find safe harbour, where out of 24,000 homes around Sydney, only 50 are affordable for a family on the borderline, just 50. Putting all on Newstart, regardless of age, health or family, soul-destroying politicians, cynically peddling bullshit, a false and evil ideology, that their amounts are fair, indexed with inflation, punishment with perpetual poverty, a shame they must continually bear. And in the same breath, voting through their shameful pay rises, perks and bonuses, tax cuts for those that don't need it, leading us all into oblivion, corporate greed at its finest, our final solution, perpetuating a cycle with major inequalities, institutionalized, built into the very fabric of Australian society. Can we make the invisible visible? Yes, we can, but only if we are willing to open our eyes, only if we have the will and the way, only if we finally choose to look and not look away, to say enough is enough, for a time will come where we must all pull together to save our land, to save our planet from our shameful history, our indulgences that have raped and pillaged this land, heartbreaking mismanagement. Otherwise, I propose that we will all vanish, screaming and scratching in pain and agony, sliding into the blackness of despair, realizing only on the way down that we too will vanish into the bleak and bleary night, invisible.